together. Yeah. Is that okay?
Alright guys, welcome back. After the break, we have our main performer, our main act, Ned Stranger. And I'm really looking forward to his original songs, which are beautiful. I've heard them a couple of times. Some of them I didn't. But I'm really looking forward to this concert. And please give a big applause to Ned Stranger.
Step out the front door like a ghost into the fog when no one notices the contrast of white on white. And in between the moon and you, angels get a better view of the crumbling difference between wrong and right. I walk in the air between the rain, through myself and back again where I don't know. Maria says she's dying, but from the door I hear her crying. Why? I don't know. Round here, we all look the same. Round here, something radiates. Maria came from Nashville with a suitcase in her hand. Said she looked like Jesus. She knows on the edge of where the ocean meets the land, just like she's walking on a wire in a circus. She parks her car outside of my house and takes her clothes off. Says she's close to understanding Jesus, and she knows she's more than a little misunderstood. She has trouble acting normal when she's nervous. Round here, we all look the same. Round here, something radiates. Round here we talk like lions, but we sacrifice like lambs. Round here, she's slipping through my hands. She said it's only in my head. She said, shh, I know it's only in my head. But the girl in the car in the parking lot says, man, you should try and take a shot. Can't you see my walls are crumbling? And she looks up at the building. She says she's thinking of jumping. She said she's tired of life. She must be tired of something round here. She's always on my mind. Round here, balance of time. Round here we're never sent to bed early, and nobody makes us wait. Round here we stay up very, 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 very late. And I can't see nothing, nothing round here. You'll catch me when I'm falling, you'll catch me when I'm falling, you'll catch me when I'm falling down on you. She said I'm under the gun round here. Oh man, I said I'm under the gun round here. And I can't see nothing, nothing round here.
Thank you, thank you. So my name is Ned Stranger. That wasn't one of my songs. That was a song by a band called Counting Crows, called Round Here. But the rest of the set is completely original songs with some stories as well. So I'm a storyteller and a songwriter from England. And very quickly, I just first want to explain what brings me here. So about 2 years ago, I went to a beautiful little bar in Vienna called Morgenstern to play at a jam. It was a sort of blues, jazz, rock jam. And while I was there, I heard this incredible singer, this incredible performer. And I was there with my wife, and we looked at each other. Me and my wife very rarely agree about anything. Normally, she has an opinion, and it is correct, and I often don't agree with it. But we looked at each other and we both just went, wow, this person is amazing. Oh, we have to talk to her. And that's how I met Carolina. And we've performed together, we've seen each other play, and it's just such a pleasure to have been invited here by Carolina and Norbert for my very, very first gig in Hungary. So thank you for having me. I'm really excited. I have a lot of songs and stories for you, so I will dive right in. Thank you very much for having me. So to start off, here's a little song called Enter the Hero.
So you want to change the world, and you want to make a mark, but you don't know who to solve, you don't know who to serve, and it's breaking my heart. Every soul is pure, draped in right and wrong. You can't save the world unless you're saving everyone. Your saint is just a sinner with gentler eyes. You're flawed if never taught how to compromise. You'll enter as a hero but leave a fool behind. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Your cape is wearing thin, my patience thinner still. 'Cause one side needs to win and one side needs to lose, and I'm losing the will. Every soul is pure, draped in right and wrong. You can't save the world unless you're saving everyone. Your saint is just a sinner with gentler eyes. You're flawed if never taught how to compromise. You'll enter as a hero, but leave a fool behind. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Is just a sinner. You're flawed if a beginner. You'll enter as a hero, but leave a fool behind.
A little mini shout out for Rijeka for this amazing tea. Oh, the perfect thing for singing in this weather. So I'm now going to take you from the streets of Sopron back to the streets of Paris in the early 19th century, where there lived a man called Évariste Galois. Now Galois was a brilliant mathematician, but he also had a problem controlling his emotions. And he was in love with a woman, but she didn't love him back, they were only friends. And one night, Galois heard that this woman was being mistreated by another man. Now Galois, unable to control his emotions, called out the other man on his behavior. He said, "You can't say that to her, that is bad." Now, you know enough about early 19th century France and society, I'm sure, to know what happens next. Galois has to fight the man in a duel. Except the problem was, Galois was a mathematician, this other guy was a professional soldier. So Galois knew that he was almost certain to lose the duel, and the night before they were supposed to fight, Galois stayed up the whole night, writing letter after letter to his friends and his family, pouring out his heart and his soul and all of his mathematical ideas onto the page. And then the next morning, on 0 hours sleep, Galois went to the duel, and as he expected, he took a bullet to the stomach and died from his wounds. He was only 20 years old. Now, as sad as Galois' story is, I like to think that his ghost would be comforted by three things. Firstly, 200 years after his death, because of his letters, we still have and remember his incredible mathematical ideas. Secondly, that all over the world, university students have taken his tradition of pulling an all-nighter before a big exam. And thirdly, 2 centuries later, an English songwriter called Ned Stranger would hear his story and turn it into a song. I will now play that song for you. It is called Spiral. Thank you for listening. Pride is a pill I was never meant to swallow. It gets me in the hand. Love is a song that I'm settling tomorrow with an answer I cannot defend. And I will graft through the night and I'll let it spiral. I will spiral. I will plant my life on the line with my numbers in letters at last. Life is a line I was never meant to follow, the proof I could never attest. I needed a sign, but I've gone off on a tangent, so I'll never discover what's best. And I will
craft through the night, and I'll let it spiral. I will plot my life on the line with my numbers and letters of last. At last. Tonight is the time I was never meant to borrow, with a fervour that's tore us apart. I'm a radical, I'm irrational, and I'll finish it all tomorrow with a shot at the truth and the heart. Yeah, so I have a favourite mathematician, which is that guy. Very cool. Thank you. So, yeah, the next song I'm going to play is a song about jealousy. So jealousy is one of my favourite topics. And my wife and I are actually in an open marriage. Because when I first met her, she told me that she had a lover. And I didn't really know what this meant. I thought that a lover was only a word that they used in Paris in the 19th century, but it turns out it is a thing now. And if I wanted to be with her, I had two choices. I could either order that she leave this other guy, who was already there when I turned up, so, you know, a little bit unfair of me to expect him to just leave, or I could accept it. And I decided to do a lot of thinking about jealousy and why I would feel jealous about her having someone else that she also loved. And long story short, what I realized is that a lot of jealousy for me is a fear of the unknown. It's that feeling that you can't trust something or someone that you don't know very well. And I actually met up with this lover because she said maybe the two of you should just go out for a drink one day. And before this time, I had built him up in my head as this semi-god figure. You know, he was better than me in every way. He was this perfect man. How could I ever compete with him? And then we went out for a drink, and the first thing that happened is that I knocked his beer all over him, completely by accident. And then after he went and got another beer, we talked, and I realized that actually he wasn't a god. He wasn't this crazy other man. He was just another human like me with his own problems and his own hopes and his own insecurities. And that point on, everything became easier, and we worked through it, and we're still, to this day, in an open relationship. But I did write a song about it, and the song is called Known Unknowns, and it goes like this. When we met, I'd rather hoped I could avoid your past. The truth is a lake, and I know I should jump, but I'm scared it's too cold and dark. It's part of you. I know I'm wrong. Each love is just another one, but I am a child, lost in the fog, and I'm frightened of meeting all the unknowns. Every male name's a trap that lies across my path. Each foray abroad, each fling that you caught, imagined or otherwise. Navigating someone's heart feels like a bloodbath. So spare me your years, a map to my fears, and a license to fantasize. The more I wait, the more it hurts. I'll never rise, I'll never learn, as I am a child, lost in the fog, and I'm frightened of meeting all the known unknowns. Your life could start, and when we met, I'd feel less threatened. But I am a child, lost in the fog, and I'm frightened of meeting all the known unknowns. 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 So, one of the best books I've ever read was a book recommended to me by a doctor friend called Being Mortal. Without going into a really long lecture, the book is about how the medical industry deals with people who are sick or dying. And what it says is that the medical service is very, very good at fixing problems and focusing on practical medicine. But for a long time, especially in America, it's not been very good at healing people or thinking about people and their sense of purpose. So like a deeper sense of why we live and why you're helping them and how people die as well, like how people are at the end of their life. And I found the book really incredible, especially because for the last 20 years, my mum has been sick with Parkinson's. And I realized, as I was reading the book, that whenever I was looking after her or caring for her, I was always thinking too much about the practical side, like how to keep her safe and protect her. And I never really thought about her sort of purpose, like her meaning. And after reading the book, I started talking to her and asking her what she actually wanted and what she actually needed. And I realized that what she really wanted was to feel like a person with a voice, not just a patient, not just somebody to be helped or fixed. And it was really incredible. It completely opened my eyes. And I realized that her biggest fear is a fear that she won't be remembered the way that she wants to be. And I found this concept just totally eye-opening. And I wanted to write a song from her point of view, singing about this fear. And so from the point of view of my mum, yeah. So very sort of different perspective. Normally I write from my perspective, this was from hers. And the song is called Breath on Glass because of the image of writing messages in the glass, in the mirror, where you have, after a hot shower or something, and it's all steamed up. And yeah, I'm curious to hear what you think. It's a very, very new song. So, thank you. Breath on Glass. school, I'm a subtle pull towards violin and piano. I am motherhood, when my mind was good in the deepest mists of time. But my number grows and my substance goes, and now all I know is fighting with my shadow. So I'm clinging on to those traces of my better life. Now I'm scared to die and to be defined by all the flaws I left behind, 'cause I know that memory's fickle. So read my words in breath on glass. Oh, take me as my lesser heart. The more we know, the less we ask. So it's written in breath on glass. I'm a time machine, I'm an aging queen, I'm a living dream. I'm nailed to a hammer and I'm trying to hack my memories like paintings in a haze. Christmas nights, apple pies, in the weekend drives to the pool at standing grammar when we used to talk, 'cause you used to think I had something to say. Now I'm scared to age and to be confined to this bed in this space and in this passing line, 'cause I know the memory is fickle. So read my words in breath on glass. Oh, take me as my lesser heart. The more we know, the less we ask. No, I'm scared to die and be defined by all the flaws I left behind, 'cause I know that truth is fragile and memory is fickle, and it's yours, it's yours, it's yours to find.
The funny thing is that, so I haven't shown that song to my mum yet, but I'm pretty sure if I did, she would hate it. Because she never likes the songs that, like, I think she might like. She's always like, I find that a bit boring, actually. So maybe I won't show it to her. How am I doing for time, by the way? I have no concept of... I don't even know what month we're in. Actually, I should say, so... This has been a very strange year for me, because 4 months ago I became a father. She's very excited. To be really honest, I haven't done very much, so really you should be giving my daughter a round of applause for growing and my wife for doing the work. But so it's been a very crazy time, and actually I find that the only singing I do now is trying to stop her from screaming. And actually she does, like, I thought she loved singing and music, and I was like, oh, this is good, maybe she'll grow up to like my songs. And then we realized that when my wife sings, she likes it even more, and she smiles even more at her. And we can't work out if it's because she's laughing, because my wife is wonderful at many things, but she is not a singer, or if it's just because she likes loud sounds and faces. So we will see. But anyway, so I've tested all these songs on her, so she is my little guinea pig. The next song is a new-ish song that I released on Spotify and YouTube and everything 3 months ago, and it's called Schadenfreude, which is one of my favorite German words. For those of you that don't know, it's the pleasure you take in somebody else's pain, so very German concept. But what I did is I flipped it around and I applied it to the concept of jealousy, another song about jealousy, where it's the pain you feel when the person what you love is also in love with somebody else. So, another jealousy song. Thank you. Maybe you'll fall in love, and I'll see it as a breach of trust, because I'm scared of sharing. I'm scared of losing even as it grows. I think about the future like it's a dangerous garden, and I break my finger on a rose. I never wanna hold, never wanna hold you hostage. I never wanna love, love and love. And I never wanna own your pleasures. I'm fighting through the pain. I hope you're happy now. It's both the truth and a sarcastic vow. 'Cause I heard that freedom makes you much less likely to escape the rule. You run up to another, and now Schadenfreude seems to work the other way. I never wanna hold you hostage. I never wanna love, love and love. I never wanna own your pleasures. I'm fighting through the pain, and still I let my fear hold your need to ransom. Love is both a gift and a curse. You told me that you love him in that warm East London garden. Schadenfreude was in reverse. Your pleasures, I'm fighting through the pain.
Wow. Thank you.
In 2016, in the summer, I was invited to a wedding in Istanbul, and I went there with my girlfriend, but I was a little bit worried about telling my mum that I was going, because it was about a month after there were terrorist attacks in the airport of Istanbul. And I asked my dad about this, and he just said, "Don't tell your mum, she'll freak out and I'll have to listen to her like worrying all the time." So I didn't tell her, we just planned our trip. And then the night before we left, I changed my mind and I told her over Skype. And she was very worried, and I was like, "It's going to be fine, security's very good, it was just like a terrorist attack that happened once." Sorry, I don't mean it like that, I mean like, it's not going to happen again, And my mum said, "Just keep a low profile, don't do anything to draw attention." And I was like, of course. And then we arrived in Turkey. The first thing that happened is my girlfriend pointed at the ceiling in the airport and said, "Oh look, you can still see bullet holes where the attack happened." So I was a little bit on edge, but it was all fine. We arrived, the first day was amazing. Istanbul is an amazing, beautiful city, and we felt more settled. We met our friends. The first evening and the signing of the wedding happened. Everything was fine. And then we all went for drinks in the Asian side of the city, across the river. And on our way back to our hotel, which was on the European side, that night, we noticed that there were helicopters flying around. And we thought this was very strange. And we went out to have some dinner, and then we saw on the news that there were all these army people and these tanks. And my girlfriend was like, "That looks like Istanbul. Is something happening here?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then we were actually with another friend of mine from university, and he got a phone call from his mum, and his mum said, "You need to come home right now. Just leave, just come home. There's a military coup happening in the middle of Istanbul and Turkey." Anyway, so we ran back to the hotel with loads of hummus and olives stuffed into our pocket. And when we arrived, I phoned my parents, and I was like, "Have you seen the news?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Maybe turn on the news." And then they looked, and they were like, "Oh, this is awful." And I was like, it's fine. We're in the hotel. We're staying out of the way." And my mum said again, like, "Just don't do anything stupid or draw attention to yourself." Anyway, we wanted to see what was happening, so we went onto the roof where you can see around, and we saw people driving out of the center, and everything was chaos. People were just leaving the center of the city. And after a period of an hour of this, there was then this like long period of calm and just complete silence as the city was on hold for the middle of the night. And then after maybe 2 hours of this, we heard the call to prayer hit the air. Just one voice at first, one of the priests singing. And my girlfriend said, "That's really strange because it's too early for the call to prayer, it's supposed to be later." And what we found out, it was the imams calling people back onto the street to protest against the people who were doing the military coup against Erdogan, the president. So the call to prayer continued and grew, and then as we were watching, suddenly people started marching back into the center of Istanbul. And at first it was a few people, and then just whole columns of people marching in the streets and driving their flags, and it was complete chaos. And for the next couple of days, everything in the city was very strange. There was a very tense political atmosphere, and I am not qualified to talk about the geopolitics of this situation, but it was a very scary time. Journalists were going into hiding or disappearing, and everyone was very scared. And I got a phone call from a friend in England who works for BBC Radio, and they wanted somebody to do an interview to talk about what it was like on the ground in Istanbul, like British travellers. So I agreed to do this radio interview, and then straight after I did it, talking about what was happening, I got a phone call from my mum, and she was like, "I told you to keep a low profile, and now you're on the radio doing interviews about it." So I had a big laugh with her. But the situation never really settled, and still it's a very complicated political situation. Our friends who were getting married had to go into hiding because he was Kurdish and she was a journalist in France. So, crazy situation. And for years I thought about this time and how kind people were in Turkey as well. Like we were there on holiday, and the people were like, "Oh, we're so sorry that your holiday has been ruined by the coup." And I was like, "Why are you sorry? We're sorry this is happening to your city and your country." And so for years, this idea of feeling totally helpless in another place stayed with me, and I really wanted to write a song about it. And I remembered that moment, that everything was calm, and then there was this sudden call to prayer hitting the air and breaking the tension. And that is what I wanted to write a song about. So The next song is called Call to Prayer, and it is about that whole experience in Istanbul. Thank you. Time frozen, everything in it as the city held its breath. And the army took the bridge within minutes, a whisper of threats. I rushed home to wait for the finish, never really scared, 'cause I find myself in any time of crisis to lose the will to care. A call to prayer right now for the first time. A city washed in gold and blue. Not everything that falls has wings. We don't know what to do, 'cause there's trouble in the streets. Towers all around, and I'm struggling in the heat, a struggle in the sound. The cry broke through the ice and the silence, and language we don't teach. While the moon hit down under the horizon and out of reach, more joined in, calling us to violence and cluttered up the air. What a human river flowed like a vein to the heart of the square, and a call to prayer rang out for the first time. A city washed in gold and blue. Not everything that falls has wings. We don't know what to do. There's trouble in the streets, towers all around, and I struggle in the heat, I struggle in the sun. Trouble in the streets, all around, and I struggle in the heat, I struggle in the sun. It's the devil that you know, the leader that you keep in this city that we love, the city that we see. And I wish I could save the world as I watch it all unfold. There's trouble in the streets, the towers all around, and I struggle in the heat, I struggle in the sounds. Yeah, if you haven't been to Istanbul, it is such a beautiful place. It's in terms of like how it looks, it's, I think, my favorite place I've ever been until I came to Sopron. Actually, though, I did walk through on my way from the station through the centre. I took a little longer route to come through here, and it is very beautiful here. So I'm very happy to be here. I'll play one more song, and for this one, I'm going to take you from the warm, sunny views of Istanbul to the edge of the world. If you look at a modern map, Vancouver. I've never actually been to Vancouver, but this is a song called Vancouver Waves, and it's a song about escaping and running away to the edge of the world when bad things happen. Before I play this, I just want to say thank you so much again to Norbert and Carolina for having me, and to our wonderful opening performers. All of you were fantastic. Please, a round of applause. I'm not going to mispronounce all of your names, but a round of applause for all of the acts who've sung tonight. And if you like any of these songs and you want to hear them again, many of them are on the internet, so you can find me, Ned Stranger. You can find me anywhere. I'm on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder. Oh, not really. Or am I? I am, under a fake name. So thank you again for listening. Ned Stranger, and this is Vancouver Waves. You are the calmest way that I've ever known. You are the calmest way. When you stop coming into shore, nobody knows that I'll be on my way. My mood moves like the tide. The storm I built inside of me. And if you ever vanish out from my heart, nobody knows, but I'll be on my way. Hibernate till I'm on form again. The world can wait another year. Hibernate till I'm okay again. The tidal waves can't follow me here. So I came here to the island. I brave the stormy seas. The air is clean and it's silent, far from such tragedies. The sun sets better than a painting. It calms my eyes with ease. But it's the saddest sky that I've ever seen. Wow. Hibernates till I'm on form again. The world can wait another year. Hibernates till I'm okay again. The tidal waves can't follow me here. You are the calmest way that I've ever known. You are the calmest way. When you stopped coming into shore, nobody knows.
was on my way.
Thank you so much. I've been Ned Stranger. See you soon.
Okay, that's a spontaneous featuring. I hope I still know this song. This is the encore, apparently.
This is the encore. Actually, I need a capo. Have you got a capo? And you can explain.
Okay, so it is a song best known by Chet Baker, I think. It's a jazz standard. My Funny Valentine.
Yeah.
And we played this at the vernissage, your wife's vernissage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope I still know this song. I don't know.
But the reason we have to do this is the song that Carolina was singing when my wife and I looked at each other and agreed on something, which was her beautiful voice. Cool. Yeah. I think you have to go on stage to sing.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Here's your figure, laughs and grin. Here's your mouth.